What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad to have you, and as always, if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, it's so nice to see you again. Today we're going to be diving into my boldest Premier League prediction yet for the 2024-2025 season. Now by the end of this video, some of you might think I'm crazy, some of you might think I'm maybe overreaching, maybe I'm just too hopeful. But I stand by what I believe, and I either can't wait to be proven wrong at the end of the season, or I can't wait to be proven right in this case, which again, I stand by. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So what I'm going to be doing today is building what I believe the Premier League table is going to look like come match week 38. We're currently on match week 4, going into match week 5 this weekend. I'm going to be building this based off of the trends that I see, maybe a little bit of hope, but also just what I truly genuinely believe to be true this season. So some of it might be absolutely crazy, and I'm sure you guys will let me know that in the comments. But again, these are my thoughts, my opinions. Feel free to let me know yours, and let's see who's right in the end. Alright, so we're going to be building from the bottom up, and coming in at number 20, in my opinion, it will be a tough battle between Ipswich Town and Southampton. Now, Southampton in particular has not started the season very well. Their record is just not looking good right now, and I don't think it will get any better as the season goes on. Are they going to pick up wins? Yeah, 100%. They will pick up maybe a win or two here and there. But are they really going to be out of the relegation zone? I don't think so. I just don't see that happening. So for that reason, I'm going to put them as number 20. Next up, like I said, Ipswich Town. I think they're doing fine for now, but the Premier League is very tough, very demanding, and it's a long season ahead. So they are back in the Premier League for the first time in a long time. And I just don't see them keeping up with the pace, the intensity. Again, especially around the Christmas break when you're playing like 6 games, I just don't see them like keeping up with that intensity. I don't know. I just don't. But you guys let me know your thoughts, and we'll see what happens. But I believe that they're gonna finish 19th. Coming in at number 18, honestly, as bad as it sounds, I think this is going to be the year where Everton finally gets relegated. I have been wanting for them to be relegated for the past 2 seasons. They are just awful in my opinion. I don't know how a club of Everton's stature went from being one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League back in the day to honestly fighting for relegation season after season after season. It's only a matter of time. I mean, the past 2 seasons, they've been really lucky. They brought in Sean Dyche, and he did fairly well last season and got them over the line. But again, given how they've started, I mean, back-to-back defeats, but not just any defeats from a winning position of 2-0. That's not something a team can easily recover from. So in my opinion, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either Sean Dyche is going to be sacked, and Everton's going to bring in someone that's just going to barely get them over the line again, or Sean Dyche is going to stay, and unfortunately Everton's going to go down. That's truly what I believe, but either way for me, they're going to be in number 18. So coming in at number 17 for me is Nottingham Forest. I think they're a pretty good team. I think they have a lot of potential, but I just don't see them climbing up the table that well this season. Nuno Espirito Santo is a very experienced manager, but I just, don't see them like finishing mid-table. I really see them fighting anywhere between 13th and 17th place. Now, to be fair to them, I don't think they'll be relegated. I just don't think they'll make it that far. Coming in at number 16, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that it's either going to be between Bournemouth and Wolves. And to be honest, I'm just going to go with Bournemouth for now. I think that they are a pretty good squad. They can definitely, put in a good challenge, put in a good shift. They'll definitely steal some points. I really hope that they steal points from Arsenal. Man City or Liverpool to help us out. But I really think that they are one of those squads to look out for because they're going to pull a bunch of surprises this year, in my opinion. Coming in at number 15, I'm going to go with Wolverhampton's. I think Wolves is a pretty good squad. They always fight and they somehow always pull through. Are they going to get relegated this year? Are they going to go further down into the table? I don't believe so. I think that they're going to find a way to, turn things around. Maybe after they can string a couple of wins together, I think they'll start to pick up some steam and again climb that Premier League table. But I just don't see them finishing in a higher mid side of the table. I think they're more so on the lower side. I think they'll probably finish again anywhere between 16th and 14th, in my opinion. Coming in at number 14, I'm going to go with Leicester City. They're back in the Premier League again. However, they've lost a very, very big, important element to their team, which is Enzo Maresca. Thank you, Maresca, for coming to Chelsea. But I think Leicester is going to struggle a bit this year. They're going to come back. They're going to have to get used to the pace of the Premier League again after dominating. Just dominating in the Championship last year. So I think they're going to need some time to adjust. I don't think that they'll get relegated again. However, I think they're really, really going to have to pick up the pace, especially going into the Christmas break. They really have to climb the table and climb the table fast if they don't want to find themselves in that danger zone competing with 4 or 5 teams for as to who is going to get relegated come the end of the season. Last but not least, coming in at number 13, I'm going to go with Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace is a good team, and I think you guys will get sick and tired of me saying that, but I think they are really a good team. But again, it's Crystal Palace, man. They always find a way to stay in the Prem. I just don't see them, again, making it really, really far this year. There are some really, really good competition, as you guys, will see when I get into the higher mid-side table, who I have up there. I just don't see Crystal Palace being on that side. Now, again, I'd love to be proven wrong, especially for Crystal Palace, because I don't really have that much negative things to say about them, but I just don't, again, see them being that team, if you will. Coming in at number 12, I have Fulham. I think Fulham, just like last year, they're going to start off really, really strong. And then at some point, maybe either at the turn of the year or going into maybe the later side of the season, they typically tend to fall off. They're a mid-side table team anyways, so I really think they'll finish 12th above anything else. Coming in at number 11, I have Brentford. Now, with Thomas Frank and how he's honestly transformed Brentford, I do not see them being anything less than either 9th, 10th, or 11th. I think that they're going to claw out some results against some big teams, such as Arsenal, in my opinion, Man United as well, but we'll just wait and see to find out if I'm right or wrong. All right, coming in at number 10, I have West Ham United. Again, I think West Ham is going to put in a really, really good challenge this year, but I don't think that they're going to be the team that steals one of the top 6 or top 7 spots in the Premier League. I'll be really surprised if they finish below 10th. But yeah, can never take anything for granted with West Ham. All right, now getting into the single digits, the team that I have coming in at number 9 this year is going to be Brighton. I know, it sounds crazy, especially given how they started, but I'm going to stick with my guns here. I think that the manager that they have, he's really, really good. But again, the Premier League is a marathon, not a race. They need a lot of depth in their squad, which I don't believe that they have. However, they are not a team to underestimate. In my opinion, I think they're going to be fighting between 7th, 8th, and 9th place. So they're definitely one of those teams that you want to look out for. All right, coming in at number 8. Now, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, and I know. but I don't care. Coming in at number 8, I actually have Manchester United. I don't think that Man U is going to do very well this year. I think this is going to be the year where Erik ten Hag gets sacked. I think that given the amount of injuries that they keep getting every season, I don't think he's going to have the personnel available to carry him through and get him a higher spot on that table. I just don't see that happening. Yeah, a Chelsea fan talking about injuries for another team is ironic, but still, I think that Man United has a lot more problems than just their injuries. I just don't see them, doing any better than they did last year, in my opinion. Now, again, they're one of those teams that you never want to underestimate, that could surprise you at any point in time. But I just don't see them really putting in like a big challenge for like the Champions League spot or anything like that. I think they're just way too inconsistent for that to happen. So that's just my opinion. Again, I don't want to be proven wrong, actually, not on this one. But yeah, I think that's the best they can do this year, in my opinion. All right, coming in at number 7. The team that I have going into the Conference League this year is actually going to be Newcastle. I think Newcastle and Man United are going to be fighting for that number 7, number 8 spot. It's going to be really, really, really crazy between, the two of them and maybe Brighton in that mix, and even West Ham. You can throw West Ham in there too. I think all 4 teams are going to be fighting for that Conference League spot, in my opinion. Again, it's just going to be who wants it more and who grinds out the results, better. But I think that Newcastle is ultimately going to end up above Man United. That's what I believe this year. All right, now we start to get into the top 6. And coming in at number 6, I have Tottenham Hotspur.
What do we think of Tottenham? What do we think of Thank you!
Yes, I hate Tottenham, but they're just way too effective at what they do every flipping year. They always finish around the top 6, top 7, top 8, somehow, some way. And to be honest with you, I just don't think this year is going to be any different. Big Ange is just too good of a manager to finish below that. I think Tottenham are going to be incredibly inconsistent, but at the end, they're just going to finish, again, in that top 5, top 6 spots. Coming in at number 5 this year, I have Aston Villa. Again, very bold prediction. Now, Aston Villa is a really, really good club, not one that you want to underestimate. However, my big theory is the longer you're in the Prem, the more teams start to adapt to the way you play. That's why I just don't think Aston Villa has that edge to go back into the Champions League this year. I think that they're going to, again, put in that challenge for top 4, but I think ultimately they're going to come up short. All right, coming in at number 4, I have Arsenal.
What did he say?
Yeah, I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this, but hear me out.
No.
Arsenal just lost Martin Odegaard. He is a pivotal player for Mikel Arteta. In my opinion, Arsenal maybe early on is not going to feel the absence and the effect of his loss, but eventually it's going to come back crawling. Like the things that, as much as I don't like Arsenal, the things that Odegaard does on the pitch is unlike any other. And so for Arteta to lose that is definitely going to be a big loss for the club. I mean, if you watch the North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham, you know exactly what I mean. I mean, Arsenal barely made it through. They got lucky off of one corner, and that was it. Outside of that, they were toothless. That's because they miss, creative players such as Odegaard to really come through for the club. So I think that they're really going to struggle, at least until he returns. And even when he returns, I think by then the damage would have already been done. Arsenal can't afford to lose, 3, 4, 5 matches this season. And unfortunately, that's what I believe will happen this year. So they're not going to finish as high as they think they might. Now, again, Arsenal is not the type of club you want to underestimate, and I'm fairly certain I'll be proven wrong. But until that happens, I'm going to believe that this year they're actually going to finish 4th, which would be hilarious. The hate along is just, it's the best part of football. All right, coming in at number 3, in my opinion, is going to be Mr. Potato's team, Liverpool. Obviously, it's flipping Liverpool. Yes, results like what happened against Nottingham Forest happen in the course of a Premier League campaign. So I'm not really too worried about it. Liverpool seemed like a really, really, really strong squad, one that you do not want to underestimate at all. And again, in the Prem, you never know, right? Like, you have Everton losing matches that they should be winning, but watch, they're going to go on to beat Manchester City or Liverpool or Arsenal, and then everyone's going to be like, what the heck is going on? But such is the nature of the Prem. Regardless, I think Liverpool's going to have a good first season under Arne Slot, but I don't think it's going to end with a Premier League title. And then coming in at number 2, I think you guessed it, I'm going with Manchester City. I know they're good. I know some fans are going to say this guy's delusional, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, yada, yada, yada. But I deeply believe Man City is going to drop some points. And then ultimately, I definitely think that we can benefit off of Man City either drawing or losing a couple of matches this season. And coming in at number 1, yours truly, Chelsea.
You serious?
Yes, I know it is absolutely crazy to create a Premier League table like this, but that's what I believe. I love my club too much to put them as anything other than number 1. Now, as you can imagine, obviously the odds of this happening are really, really slim, but I back my club. I back Chelsea every step of the way. There's nothing stopping us from having a 2015-2016 Leicester-like season. There's nothing stopping us from making Premier League history with the squad that we have right now, which, by the way, is really, really strong. And so I believe that Chelsea has all the tools necessary and a very solid manager, in my opinion. I believe that Maresca came in, cleaned the team, and he's really instilling a lot of great ideas into the squad. And I think the guys are starting to buy into it. And even when we don't perform well, like the game against Bournemouth, we still manage to grind out results. And that's how you can go on to win the Premier League. So I believe Chelsea's going to really, really surprise a lot of people this year. And in my opinion, I think we finish top 4. I think we get a Champions League spot and we get back in the Champions League going into next year. But I really, really think that Maresca has his work cut out for him. I think Maresca is going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat this season and really grind results that are completely unexpected, such as winning at the Emirates this year, which is something that we haven't done in quite a bit, winning at Anfield, and even going one step further and winning at the Etihad. That will not be easy at all. But if we can somehow pull, again, a masterclass counter-attacking match, I think that will be a great, great result, in my opinion.
No offense, but it sounds like some commie gobbledygook.
And so with that being said, this is my bold Premier League table. Now, like I said, I do have 2 alternate tables that I will be showing at the end of this video, but this is my primary, Premier League table come match week 38. Now, I know, again, you guys are going to have a lot of opinions about this. Please feel free to share them down in the comment section below. And I know people are going to be like, there is no flipping way Chelsea is winning the Premier League this year. And my only answer to that is it's crazy until it happens. There's character in this squad, and I think this year we're really, really, really going to prove a lot of people wrong. And with all that being said, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, the whole 9 yards. I'll greatly appreciate it. Again, let me know your thoughts. What would you have done different? How would you have shifted these teams around? Let me know your opinions down in the comment section. And again, let's start a chat. Let's see who's right at the end. And, you know, if you want to throw a couple of bets down there, feel free to do that as well. But until the next video, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.